Tariffs are a significant aspect of international trade policies, often used as tools to protect domestic industries, raise government revenue, or apply pressure in diplomatic relations. In 2025, recent changes to U.S. tariffs are expected to have far-reaching consequences across various sectors of the economy, influencing everything from manufacturing jobs to service industries. These changes could impact employment trends in both direct and indirect ways. In this video, we will explore the top 10 ways that recent tariff changes could shape the U.S. job market in 2025. 1. Increased demand for domestic manufacturing jobs. One of the primary goals of imposing tariffs is to encourage the consumption of domestically produced goods. By making imported products more expensive, tariffs can make locally manufactured items more competitive. As a result, manufacturers in industries like electronics, steel, and automobiles may see increased demand for their products. This could lead to more job opportunities in factories, warehouses, and production plants, potentially boosting employment in the manufacturing sector in 2025. 2. Job losses in import-dependent industries. While tariffs can benefit domestic manufacturers, they often come with a cost for industries that rely on importing raw materials or finished goods. Sectors such as retail, technology, and automotive may see higher input costs, which could lead to price increases. These price hikes might reduce consumer demand, leading to potential job cuts in businesses that depend heavily on imports. Companies that are not able to adapt to these higher costs may struggle to stay competitive, resulting in layoffs, particularly in sales and supply chain positions. 3. Job growth in customs and trade compliance. With the implementation of new tariffs, there will likely be an increased need for professionals in customs and trade compliance. Businesses will require experts to help navigate the complex regulatory landscape and ensure they remain compliant with new tariff structures. This shift could lead to job growth in sectors that specialize in international trade, including logistics, legal advisory, and regulatory affairs. As the U.S. adapts to new tariffs, demand for trade analysts, compliance officers, and customs brokers is expected to rise. 4. Impact on the technology sector. Technology companies often rely on overseas manufacturing for hardware production, particularly in industries like semiconductors and electronics. New tariffs may increase the cost of sourcing these components, which could lead to job losses or shifts in the technology sector. While some domestic manufacturers may increase production to compensate for tariff impacts, this could also result in a slowdown in research, development, and innovation in the tech sector. Companies may reallocate resources, possibly affecting employment opportunities in software development, product management, and technical support. 5. Potential for job shifts in agriculture. U.S. agriculture, which often relies on foreign exports, could experience challenges due to tariffs imposed on agricultural goods. If other countries retaliate with tariffs on U.S. agricultural products, such as soybeans, beef, or dairy, U.S. farmers might see reduced export opportunities. This could lead to a decrease in farm-related jobs or the migration of agricultural labor toward sectors less affected by trade policies. On the other hand, some domestic agricultural industries might see a boost if tariffs reduce competition from foreign products. 6. Growth in construction and infrastructure jobs. Changes in tariffs often have a ripple effect across industries that rely on imported raw materials, such as construction. Tariffs on steel, aluminum, and other essential building materials could raise costs for construction companies, but it could also stimulate growth in the domestic production of these materials. As the U.S. focuses on rebuilding infrastructure, there could be an increased demand for construction workers, engineers, and project managers. These shifts could lead to job growth in construction and infrastructure sectors as demand for U.S.-produced materials rises. 7. Increased employment in logistics and supply chain management. As tariffs affect the flow of goods across borders, there will be a greater need for professionals in logistics and supply chain management to ensure efficient trade practices. The U.S. will likely see an increased demand for workers in these fields to manage new import-export routes, mitigate delays, and streamline transportation processes. Warehouse managers, logistics coordinators, and supply chain analysts will be crucial to help companies adapt to the changing tariff landscape, leading to job creation in the logistics sector. 8. Impact on consumer service jobs. As businesses adjust to higher costs due to tariffs, they may pass those costs on to consumers in the form of higher prices. This can reduce consumer spending and ultimately affect service industries that rely on disposable income, such as entertainment, dining, and tourism. Reduced demand for non-essential services could result in job cuts in these sectors, particularly in lower wage positions. However, it's also possible that a shift in consumer behavior toward more affordable services could create new opportunities in certain areas. 9. Potential for innovation in domestic industries. The imposition of tariffs may drive innovation as companies seek to find cost-effective ways to compete with imported products. For instance, manufacturers may look for new technologies or more efficient production methods to offset the costs of tariffs on raw materials or finished goods. This could create new job opportunities in research and development, R&D, winking-faced technology, and product design. As companies innovate to stay competitive, workers with skills in automation, AI, and green technologies may be in high demand. 10. Increased focus on education and retraining programs. With shifts in the job market, particularly in industries heavily impacted by tariffs, there may be an increased need for retraining and reskilling initiatives. Workers in sectors that are downsizing due to tariff impacts may need to pivot to new roles or industries. Educational institutions, vocational training centers, and online platforms may see growth in demand for courses focused on in-demand skills like data analysis, digital marketing, and technical support. These shifts could lead to job creation in education and training sectors as workers seek new skills to remain competitive in the evolving job market. The recent changes in U.S. tariffs are set to reshape the job landscape in 2025, with both positive and negative effects. From increased opportunities in manufacturing, logistics, and construction to potential job losses in retail, agriculture, and service industries, the evolving trade policies will create significant shifts in employment patterns. For workers, it will be crucial to stay informed about industry trends and consider upskilling or retraining to remain adaptable to these changes. In the long run, while tariffs may lead to some short-term economic challenges, they also offer opportunities for innovation, domestic growth, and job creation in emerging sectors. By understanding these impacts, consumers and workers can better prepare for the evolving job market in 2025.